Andrew's in Bismarck, North Dakota. Hi, Andrew. How are you?
Hey, Dave. It's an honor. I've been waiting to talk to you my whole life.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I'm honored. How can we help?
You're a mentor from afar. 5 years ago, I started a small ice cream shop, and it's grown. It's a seasonal ice cream shop. We're only in business for 3.5-4 months of the year. This last year, we did 150,000 top line.
Wow.
We have a staff of about 12 awesome high school students who love being mentored and growing. And I'm in a place where I just want some wisdom on how to steward this business, and to keep it short is how much money I really should keep in the business as it being seasonal. And then how much I'm struggling with, how much to actually pay myself in the process. So, yeah.
Is that your only income?
As of right now, yes. This is the first year. Me and my wife do missions work, actually. So we do have partial support raising that we do, and then we go overseas and help locals get started with a small business. So
cool. Good for you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So you run it for 3.5 months. You shut it down?
I do. Yep. It's like North Dakota's winds and cold weather kicks in really quick. So to be open in a retail space, we actually operate 2 trailers and do events and catering, and have one that stays open all summer. But then as soon as the cold weather gets in, it's not worth it to be open.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, nobody wants ice cream when it's 5 below. I got you. Okay.
Well, outside anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe inside, but
yeah. Now you have a brick and mortar location as well as mobile?
No, we rent a kitchen to make everything, but we really just have a mobile shop, and then we have normal business hours. People can Google it, find it, all that stuff. So as far as the convenience, it's the same, but not inside.
Okay. So you don't have a physical space that you need to flip and have another use for in the winter, like coffee shop or something. That's not what you need to do. Instead, you do need to shut this down, but you need to have something else to do, I guess, right? Or are you just going out? Are you raising support going on the mission field the other 9 months?
Yeah, actually, my goal is to have it make enough money to support me and my family as we go and do missions work long term. And I'd say like this year we've just saved in the business. And
so, how much did you clear on 150K? What'd you clear?
Yeah, so we're net profit was over 50,000 this year.
And what's it take for you to do missions 9 months?
Yeah. So basically, me and my wife are on a pretty small budget. We can live off about 3,000 a month, and so
you can make it on 50K, huh?
Yeah, I think so. And it's a little bit of a stretch. I know I've picked up a couple jobs here and there.
3K a month is not 50K for 9 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's only 27K.
This is in addition to my normal wage that I work as managing it in the summer. So I take a wage, and then in addition to that, but I want to grow it.
But you said I want the ice cream shop to create enough profit that I can do missions work in the other 9 months with the profit. And you said you needed $27,000, $3,000 a month for 9 months, but you have $50,000.
Yeah.
Goal accomplished?
It's there. Yeah, it's there for sure. And I guess where I struggle is we're in baby step 6 according to the baby steps. We really want to pay off our home and make it more our cost of living so we can give back more. And so I guess as the owner of the business, I have the opportunity to take take a distribution, or even this year, when I started the business, I started it with everything I had, which is $20,000. And I'm even just nervous of taking it out of the business to pay myself back, and wondering if that's even acceptable.
Okay. Let me catch up, because there's something I'm not getting here, or something
Sure.
You're not giving me. One. So you go all summer, you have a net cash profit of $50,000 in the bank. At the end of the summer, you turn the key, shut the thing down for the winter. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, but you need to do missions $3,000 a month for the following 9 months. 9 times 3 is $27,000. but I have 50,000. I don't see the problem.
I see the I guess maybe the question I'm really asking is I don't want, like, if my ice cream machine goes down, like, I need to keep money in the bank. Like, how much should I keep in the business account in order for us to be secure? Like almost business budgeting.
Okay.
Like a business emergency fund, and then
it's called retained earnings, and I would take a percentage of your profits and add the retained earnings until you get to the equivalent of a normal business of 6 months of operating, which most people can't ever get there because their profits increase, but and their gross increases and their costs increase and all that. But anyway, so hey, in your case, it sounds like $20,000 would be a lot to leave there. That ought to cover anything that would come up.
Well, except if the ice cream machine went down to get a new one, it would be like 50 grand.
How did you get the first one? 20 grand?
No, it was before COVID, and I found it in an old restaurant supply store, and I feel like it was God's hand. It was a miracle. It was some company went out of business after using it for a year, and and it's. I feel like it was a diamond in a haystack.
Yeah,
and God provided it. So.
I would go with you and say it's God's provision. Yeah. I'm not sure I'm going to go so far as a miracle. A miracle is more of a singular event. Used restaurant equipment's not exactly a singular event.
Okay.
So I would suspect if God wants you to stay in this business, he can provide, again, if you hold a reasonable amount back. I mean, if you have a fairly new, slightly used, great deal on a great ice cream machine that's worth $50,000, my guess is it's not going to go kaput in the first 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably over-preparing to replace that now. It probably has a longer life than a 3-year life, unless I'm missing something. So commercial equipment should last longer than 3 years of that type, especially when it's only getting 3.5 months of use a year. So, that's what I'm doing. So I think you might be over-analyzing all of this. So I would probably set like 20 grand in the business, set my 27 over, and then next year, if I make another 50 or 60, I can decide if I want to add a little bit to that 20 and retain and make sure I cover my missions work. And then the next year, I might throw some more at the house and get the house paid off and set a little more aside. But eventually, you're going to have plenty of retained earnings, and you're not going to add any of that. And if you keep your lifestyle down to 27 for 9 months on the mission field, then everything above 27 that you make, you can throw at the house after the second or third, fourth year in this program. I think you're going to be in great shape. Sounds like you got a little money-making machine there, dude. No pun intended. And you work your tail off at it. So, and if you can make enough to support your family throughout the year in 3.5 months in any business, I call that a win. That's pretty impressive. So, I think God has given you provision here to enable you to do the work that he's asking you to do. And he's funding it with ice cream, which is humorous in North Dakota, if you think about it. But there we go. Not that people in North Dakota don't deserve ice cream. It's just cold there. So, ice cream on the beach in Florida just has a lot longer season, like 24/7, 12 months a year, right? So, anyway, way to go! What a cool model that's been put in front of you. But be wise and don't overdo the retained earnings and don't underdo what you take home, and make sure that you're taking care of your family while you're on the mission field. We don't need to be having holes in our socks when we got $25,000 over here ready for an ice cream machine. So we got to break all that out that way. But you got a great heart, Andrew. You got a great heart. And it is very cool for those of us that are people of faith to watch God's hand show up in our business and in the processes that we're using in the business, and we go, oh, well, that's so unusual. That must be God.